My name is Johanna Billing. I'm from Sweden. At the moment I'm living in Stockholm. And my background is not so much film. I'm showing mostly film and video works in this show, but I'm not a filmmaker to begin with. I started actually more working with sculpture and going from there to photographs, and I think I started to be interested in involving more and more people, so the photographs became more and more about staging different, setting up different situations, and then gradually I moved on to video, because video is such a it's really a good way to capture atmospheres, and I think that's very much what I'm trying to do in my work. And it's not so much, so I'm not a storyteller in that sense if you compare to filmmakers. In this show here we have set it up in this quite say physical way with all these constructions, and I think that is something I really like, because you can walk around and really take things in on active can you say bodily way, compared to if you sit in a cinema where you sit down and you have certain expectations to get the story or the plot. So well, I don't have a film background, but I'm really interested in film. I've always been, so I've been of course watching a lot of films. We have in Sweden one really good filmmaker called Bo Widerberg. He's not alive anymore. He made some really nice films. I mean, people many times they say that there is this melancholy in my work, and maybe that's something I cannot really get away from. There's some kind of link, not to compare myself with Ingmar Bergman, but there is maybe some kind of connection to some Swedish filmmakers, the way there is some, it's not, for me the melancholy is not something sad or depressing, it's more maybe some kind of state of mind or emotional perhaps, that maybe I'm interested in communicating on some kind of emotional level, and I think that is a bit similar to some other Swedish filmmakers. But I guess my biggest influence is probably music, because I've been working parallel with music for many years, and I was arranging concerts and events in my early teenagers, and I'm still working with that. And I also run a small record label together with my brother since '97. And so music is always part of the work, in maybe not always, but very often it's part of it. What else? The films are made in different contexts, in different countries sometimes, and many times I'm traveling to a place where I haven't been, and it's always a bit tricky, because you don't want to just come from the outside and do some kind of scratch the surface. But I mean, still I'm really interested in trying to get into something new, and I spend a lot of time in the places where I go, and there's a lot of research, but still I guess in many of these films here the starting point is is it's still something that comes from a very personal. Could be some films comes from this. Maybe I have a song in my head I cannot get out, or a strong image or something. It could be like a dream you have, and something that puzzles you, and you cannot really get rid of it. So yeah, it maybe starts like that, and that I have this image or memory, and then I want to just take it out of my head, and I want to involve other people to see, is this only me? Is this only my weird personal thing, or could it, can other people also recognize this? So it's like I'm trying to bring my personal story, and then try to find a collaboration in other places with people and see if that can still make sense somehow. And I guess for me it's also a way to avoid, it's a way for me to avoid making a true documentary somehow. It's more this mix of mix of different things, I think. And I think that it could be true for most of the films in this show, that when you see it, you're not really sure what kind of film it is, because it looks like a documentary at some point, but then it has some fiction elements, or it could look like a dance performance piece or a music video. And I think I like to mix these different things, or to move a little bit. And maybe that's also back again to trying to create something that when you look at it, you're not as passive as when you're sitting down watching a normal film, but instead you have to really be active, and you have to really ask yourself a lot of questions while you're looking. So.